have this sick feeling that those events were going to happen. They were fake. Nobody was going to die. Second 9/11 to Philly, Super Bowl, football game, something like that, and it's been canceled. That's just a feeling I have about that situation, because it's possible. And there's people on the inside that are excited about getting rid of me because I make them sick. But the feeling's mutual. Because it's concealing the truth. Now that's only if that was the case. But I do feel sick because there's something going on, regardless whether or not if the events are there. I was looking forward to them, waiting for this destruction to happen because I know nobody's dying, and other people will look and say that I'm insensitive about that. Like the first 9/11. There's way too much going on with the mouthpieces for the elite that are all combined together talking about the same thing, and then all of a sudden it doesn't happen. And then you got people that are overly confident about nothing's going to happen, because all of a sudden now I'm hearing a bunch of nothing's going to happen. Like, how do you feel about being called a false prophet? Well, I'm fine with that, because I know what I am and I know what I'm not. And the rest of my subs, free will. Think for yourselves. Think about how they do their little tricks. Because either way, the idea is to use me to get the attention of the 144,000. Have them hop on my... There's a confirmation right there. Can't even make this stuff up. I didn't look at the clock. I just did at that point for whatever reason. Use my channel to get to the 144. That's right. It's you guys that are watching this channel. There's a bunch of you. They won't tell you that, but I'm going to tell you that, because they're a bunch of flat out liars. They love to lie, no matter what. So the idea is to get me, even though this wasn't anybody's plan from the beginning. When I hopped on YouTube by myself, I'm going to leave YouTube by myself. Because it's at a point where we're here, and when time continues on and absolutely nothing at all happens, it's like, okay. But when something does, and it's not the second 9/11 as I predicted, because you'll take what I said, what I found out, and you'll cancel it. This is the evil plot from the inside that I have this sick feeling from. Now that I got the attention of the 144, at least some of them, the evil plotters, well, what they do is they know that. So when the little horn comes up, we'll all know who he is. When the little horn comes up and I'm not here to talk anymore, well, I mean, the idea is to take my subs, and then lead them in a different direction, because what I said didn't come true. Even though you know damn well that you canceled it. It's just a simple cancellation. Do you have to follow through with the second 9/11? You don't have to. What's the main event that's going to take place anyway, that's going to get people's attention in the world, that's going to scare people? Well, it's going to be a alien invasion and a rapture, and that's not something that I can predict. That's not something that I can predict that somebody else hasn't. There's Rapture King Steve Fletcher setting dates all the time, and so that's not a surprise. When you see the rapture, you see the rumor. Or the only thing that I can nail down to say that I was the only one on planet Earth that could figure this out would be the second 9/11 happening in Philadelphia with 3 in a row at the places that I said that it would be at 17th JFK. Now the Met building, well, the Lincoln Financial Field that they didn't blow up, and the William Penn building, all at the same time, and blaming it on Jonathan Click to let everybody know who he is. That's, like I said before, that's more than a wounded head. That would be a crushing, killing blow where it's over. That's a death blow. The wounded head is the fact that that event that I predicted dead on, that you guys canceled, well, the ones from the inside, the ones that you think they're against me, you have a right to say whatever you want. You have a right to conceal truth if you want to. And there's also a certain time period where, all right, that's it, no more. So how I see it is, the people on the inside that are involved with these events, there's more than I thought. They all seem to have the world stripped. They all seem to know all of a sudden now nothing's going to happen. I didn't hear Steve say anything about there's no second 9/11 is going to happen, right? Just because he'll only say that. He'll only say when nothing's going to happen, about when he knows for a damn fact that nothing's going to happen. All these second 9/11 dates I put up, not a word. Now, poor Robin, he just doesn't get it. He just doesn't get it. Well, even if the second 9/11 happens this month, but it's not in Philadelphia, maybe a couple people, it's like, hey, you predicted the second 9/11 would happen this year. Yeah, but I said it would happen in Philly, and I'm stuck on that. It either happens in Philly or it doesn't happen anywhere. And if it happens somewhere else, if it happens in Kansas City, it's not going to make any sense to me, or San Francisco. So that's fine. Cancel it. Cancel it. Get rid of me. Because what I can feel, the core of my bones that I can feel, is that this was planned out. And because somebody was able to predict it with, I'm not going to say my channel is huge, but it has a large lump sum number of subs that could push the play button and watch any video at any given time. But there's somewhere around between 250 and 350 that watch all the time, and I appreciate that. But look, the idea is to have. Look, I mean, this is what was planned. Make it as obvious as all hell about where they're going to set up their bombs at, the future bombings on the money. And then if anybody can tell us what we're going to do, well then here's what we're going to do after that. We're going to cancel that event. We're going to know that that's God's mouthpiece on planet Earth. And we're going to cancel the event because it's only going to be somebody that hops on social media. They know that as well as I know that. It's only social media. It's mainly YouTube, this platform right here. If somebody can do that, well, we know that they have some type of intuition that God is giving them. And we're going to keep that information to ourselves. We're going to shut him down, and we're just going to let him fade off into nowhere. That way, he'll just think that he's nobody. He just made predictions, nothing came right, and he's just a false prophet. We'll try to get him to believe that in his own head. But because I'm smart enough to know that what they do on the inside, you cannot see at all, but you can feel it and sense it in your bones. So how I'm feeling this is when you cancel the events, and then you try to, and then once my channel gets shut down for strikes, and then, you know, Steve will just blame it on me that it was my own fault, I deserved it, I got what I deserved. Everybody else that's on the inside, they'll say the same thing. And then the little horn comes up, who's been part of this, who's been like a friend of mine for a long time. The little horn comes up, you guys all will know who it is, and what he'll do is he'll take you guys with him, because it'll seem like I wasn't doing my job, because what was I really doing? I'm just talking, blabbing on for 33 minutes about nothing, and not helping anybody whatsoever. So it's up to you guys to remember what I said, and then to see how the little horn rises up to power and shuts down Kleck and Steve. He shuts down that ram's horn, that ram's head, those two kings that speak lies to each other at one table. And then, because it's free will, you guys got to go. You got to go somewhere else. I mean, you got to listen to somebody else who's going to come up and try to make sense of everything. But remember this, the little horn has the world script in his hand too. All these people have the script in their hand. That's why when I hear nothing's going to happen, Robin, and how do you feel about just being known as that guy that made predictions that never came true? Well, that tells me that the events were canceled. The little horn's getting ready to rise up to power and take my spot. What else is new? Everybody's trying to be like me. Now, but because of the cancellations of these events, and there's going to be a specific individual that's going to get to this point, quite possibly the little horn. I'm starting to think, I mean, it all boils down to the little horn anyway, because it's Satan. Satan's the little horn. Satan's the horn. So whoever is claiming to be Satan in the flesh will rise up and take over. Now, there's many people that are claiming to be Satan in the flesh, but there's only one that's actually gonna follow through with the energy that he has inside. Now, the little horn's gonna get to a certain period of, well, there's a season. The little horn has a season. And once the little horn does everything that he needs to do, puts me down, takes me off of YouTube. Now, this little horn has to have the authority he has to be given the authority to be able to shut down any YouTube channel as of right now. So when Kleck gets shut down, Steve gets shut down, and I get shut down, well then this individual is gonna try to be, well, it's not gonna try to be, he's going to be the fourth kingdom on earth. And he's gonna prosper, he's gonna practice, he's gonna succeed. He's gonna continue to deceive many. The only one that he's not deceiving is me, because I've already been deceived. In the end, those people like JB Rocks, you're one of them, conspiracy, masterpiece conspiracy. You're one of them that thinks you're Satan in the flesh. And, you know, you can feel as though whatever you want to feel, that's fine. Everybody thinks they're Satan in the flesh. There's only one. And then everybody thinks they're Christ in the flesh. And there's only one. But in the end, keep this in mind, what I told you guys from the beginning of, well, since last year, year and a half, since I started to realize that Satan and Christ in the flesh on planet Earth, in the end, are going to work together, because Satan deceives the entire world. Keep it in mind. So when this little horn rises to power, no, man, because the ones that are on the inside, you guys know who it is. You already know. But what you're saying and thinking to yourself, because you heard the conversations, is, man, he got him. He got Robin. He got him. And then now it's our turn. What event's going to kick it off? Is it going to be the fake rapture, the alien invasion, or is it the second 9/11? I had thought it would be the second 9/11 that would kick these events off, but that would also kick, that would just completely demolish Satan. It ain't going to wound his head, as it'll crush his head. Because how can you possibly try to do anything in the world ever again to try to deceive people when that's known? So that's fine. Take that, suppress it, cancel it. Just like the Super Bowl, Steve. Don't allow the Ravens to get in there with the Eagles, and don't allow it to get blown up at 5:55 remaining in the fourth quarter. Just follow through with the game. It's easy to just cancel the events. It's actually harder to do them. It's more work to do them. It's easier to just cancel them. I'm going to fade away. People are going to forget about me. I'm not hopping back on YouTube. I'm not doing another platform. I'm not going to I'm not creating a website. I'm not doing any of that shit. I did my part. I'm done. I know it is. I know it's true. I know that I'm done on YouTube, and I know that I am finished with what I'm saying, because the little horn, it's time for him to take over. And I did my part. So the little horn's going to do his part. I'm going to tell everybody straight to your face, the ones that are involved that know who this little horn is, that he is going to turn on you in the end and come back towards me. Guaranteed. Because the whole purpose is to get close to me, get close to my subs. This is the way it's been. I mean, there's always been somebody that has been trying to communicate with me. And when I shut Steve off and I was supposed to see a train wreck, you know, I never seen one. But I've always been in contact with somebody that I met on YouTube. There's always been somebody there. And the purpose of staying connected with me is to just, you know, get a feel of what I'm thinking personally. Like, I talk enough, you already know what I'm saying, but to have personal communication, it's different, because it's more personal is what it is. So that's the idea. Get as close to Robin as possible, and then when you've gotten all the information you need, and everything that I predicted that you guys had planned out didn't happen, because it's obvious as all hell that it's canceled. And so you get all that, you find out who I am, you find out who I'm representing, and then you take that information, and it's like a kick in the nuts, it's like a punch in the face, it's everything. It's a sick, disgusting feeling because there's people that I know damn well what you guys are doing, how you think, and how you're thinking now about canceling the event, and then robbing false prophet when I nailed it. You can say I'm delusional. I know, I heard you, Satan. I heard what you said. But when you know better, you don't listen to those little still voices of injected thoughts that Satan will inject into your head, and it's up to you to cut it out and to stop it or not, or listen to it all the way. So just so you guys are aware, the ones that know who the little horn is, he's getting ready to rise up, military power and everything. He's going to do a great job at what he's doing. He's going to be the one that causes he's going to be the one that's standing in the holy place. He's going to make it desolate. Just know this, that Jonathan Kleck is he's a mouthpiece for the elite. He's not the actual little horn himself. He's a mouthpiece, though. The little horns can be different than everybody that you've seen so far. But in the end, when the little horn is finished, and he completely has done away with everything that has to do with the Word of God, and scattering the prey and the spoil and the riches and having the power over silver and gold. When all that is finished, you want to know what happens to after 7 times passes over King Neb? He repents, and his reasoning returns to him as to what he's doing. When he turns against everybody that has followed him, because there's shifts. There's a shift of Kleck. There's a takeover of a Stephen James, and then there's another one that Little Horn takes over. And then after Little Horn is done, because God sits back and allows everybody free will. Why do you think all these deaths and everything happens in the world? Because it's free will. What do you expect God to do? Stop it? How does he stop it? If he stops it, it's not free will, is it? That's where the Luciferians hate God, because you can't stand the fact that he just allows things to happen. When you guys are the ones that are the control freaks, you hate when people are allowed to do anything. So you want to put your hand in it like you're God and control it. Especially those that have the world script in their hand. It's like you know all the truth and you think you're so slick and so cool because, poor Robin, he has no idea what we're doing, but he does have a clear idea. But with this one here, he doesn't. It's fine. I take the pulse. In the end, I win. Right now, I'm losing. According to the world and the perspective of people's eyes of who I am, I'm losing. Because the events haven't happened. They're so damn obvious that that's exactly what they're doing, but they're canceling it. So because they canceled it, and I'll be gone, it's up to my subs to think for yourselves. Just know that you're going to see a little horn rise up to power. You'll know who it is when you see him. But it's only after I'm not on this channel. And it doesn't matter what I do. I can delete all my videos. I can do the age restriction thing, but I'm not doing the age restriction thing because it's not my channel is for children. It's for 144,000 of them actually. So I'm not clicking that button that it's age restricted. But follow through with canceling the events. Keep them canceled. And then in the end, the little horn's going to turn against you guys because he was on my side the entire time.